Here we are in section 1.3 exercises part C with the solutions to 7 through 18. Number 7, we're going to start by adding. So this is just addition, and we need to make sure and line up the decimals. Good, they're lined up, and we add piece at a time. 1 plus 7 is 8. 2 plus 3 is 5. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 4 plus 0 is 4. 49,958. Let's check that answer. 49,958. There was no carrying at all in that one. That one was good. Okay, so number 8, 756.29 plus 0.522. The decimals aren't lined up right now, so let's line those guys up. 756.29 plus 0.522. And you'll notice they don't have the same amount over here, so you might want to put a 0 there just to make sure that you see that everything has something to add with. 0 plus 2 is 2, 9 plus 2 is 11, and you carry that 1 over to the next column. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8. The decimal comes straight down. 6 plus 0 is 6, 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 0 is 7. 756.812. Let's look at that. 756.812. Correct. So the next one, 8,434.7 plus 54.3527. The 7s don't line up. Again, this is not lined up with the decimals, so we have to write that out here. 8434.7 plus 54.3527. Wow, it's clear over the edge there. And with these extra decimals here, zeros may be helpful to identify that that's how the addition will go. There's just nothing out here to add to, so we can put zeros there. 0 plus 7 is 7. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 3 is 10. So 0, carry a 1 over to the next column. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 and 8 plus 0 is 8. The decimal comes right down here, straight down. So 8,489.0527. Let's look at it. 8,489.0527 indeed. All right, number 10. Now we're subtracting. Here we're going to subtract a negative number. Subtracting a negative, these two reversing direction signs make a plus. This turns out to be an addition problem. So it's 118. That's what minusing a negative does. Losing a debt becomes income, or losing a cold is the same thing as warming up. And there we have 118. Good. Number 11. This is minus 19. Subtract 320. Now, since these are both negatives, they're both headed in the same downward direction. So this is actually an addition problem. You're actually going to take 320 plus 19, all in that same direction. So we get 339. And 339 all in the negative direction. So to illustrate that with a little bit of a temperature gauge here, if we're here at negative 19 degrees, we're going down further 320. That's where we get even further down into the negative than either of those. Number 12. Oh, let's double check that answer. Negative 339, that is correct. Number 12, here we have negative 18, subtract a negative 151. And those two negatives go together to make indeed a plus. So this is negative 18 plus 151. These are now opposite signs. So yes, this indeed is a subtraction problem. We've got a positive 151 and we've got a negative 18. That's where the subtraction comes in. So if we're going to do some borrowing, 1 minus 8, no, we're not going to do that. 1 minus 8, that'd give us a negative 7 down here. So we're going to cross that out, put it as a 4, and carry 10 over into this column. So we have 11 minus 8, and that gives us 3. Then 4 minus 1 is 3, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So we get 133. Now the question is that a positive 133 or a negative 133? Well, this bigger, stronger guy that we subtracted with on top was positive. And then we took away a smaller negative number. So the stronger one in this tug-of-war wins. So it's like you made $151 and lost 18. You still have a positive 133. Let's check our answer. That is correct right there. Number 13, 754 minus 57. Oh boy, so this is a subtraction problem indeed because you got a positive and a negative, but the stronger guy is down here on the bottom. We need to move him up to the top so we can subtract with the stronger guy up on the top. If you're not familiar with that, this may take a little bit of practice. So we have negative 57 and a positive 7.54. Still line up the decimals like this. And we may need just a couple of zeros out here to make sure we can do all of our subtraction correctly. So let's go ahead and do that. 0 minus 4? No, that'd be a negative. We're going to borrow. We can't borrow from that one, so we got to borrow from this guy. This guy is now a 6, and that makes that a 10. Hey, if this is 10, we can now borrow from that, make that a 9, and it carries 10 of those guys over to the next column. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 5 is 4. There's the decimal right there. 6 minus 7, no, that doesn't happen. So we got to do another borrowing here. 4, and that'll be a 16. So 16 minus 7 is 9, and 4 minus 0 is 4. So we're at 49.46, and the stronger number was a negative, so the answer is negative. This tug-of-war between them, the negative guys won, so there's our answer, negative 49.46. This subtraction with borrowing and the negative bigger one on top, that's indeed what we need to do, and it may take some practice. Let's check our answer. Negative 49.46, that is indeed correct. Number 14, let's do this one. 298.4 minus 64.643. Okay, the bigger one's on top. We're subtracting. We have one positive, one negative, but the decimals aren't lined up. So let's write this out here. 298.4 minus 64.643. Let's put those zeros out there so we can do our good subtraction. Great. And good. Now we have 0 minus 3. No, we can't do that. So let's look, and we can't borrow from that guy, but we can borrow from him. That'll make that guy a 10. Now he's a 10. We can borrow from him, make him a 9, and that's a 10. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 4 is 5. 3 minus 6, oh, we can't do that one. So let's do one more borrowing over here. Make that a 7, and that now becomes a 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. Decimal comes straight down. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 2 minus 0 is 2. We had a big positive number subtracting this other smaller number, so we're going to end up positive. 233.757. Let's check our answer. 233.757. Indeed. Number 15. 3,784 minus 5,919. Well, this is a smaller number, subtract a bigger number. If we're going to do subtraction, which we are, they're opposite numbers. One's a positive, one's a negative. We got to move that stronger guy up here. So this is 5,919 minus, oops, don't put a minus there. Keep it up there with that guy. We are subtracting, but that's going to be 3,784. So the decimals are now lined up, and the stronger one is on top. You'll always subtract with the stronger guy first on top. 9 minus 4 is 5. 1 minus 8, we can't do that, guys, so borrow. And this guy decreases by 1, and this guy increases by 10. 11 minus 8 is 3. 8 minus 7 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2,135. But remember, we're in the negative direction. The stronger one between these two is negative, so the answer will end up being negative. Negative 2,135. And there we have it. All right, number 16, a couple of word problems down here. 4450, the tax is 318. Now tax, does that add or subtract on? That adds on. So this is going to be 4450 plus 318. $3.18 added on to that. 0 plus 8 is 8. 5 plus 1 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 plus 0 is 4. So we have 47.68, and we're talking about dollars here. So 47.68, let's check our answer. $47.68. Great. Here we have a temperature of 48 degrees Celsius, and the change is that it gets 29 degrees colder. Colder means subtraction. So we're going to start out at 48 degrees and then go down, subtract by 29. All right. These are lined up with the decimals. 8 minus 9, can't do that, so we're going to borrow. This is now a 3, and that's a 1. Now just a little bit of a pause here. All we did with this borrowing, and that's what we've done the entire time, is we have renamed 48 3018. And that's really the same number, but nobody ever says it that way until this particular moment when it's convenient to have 18 in the ones column. So we can take 18 minus 9 is, 9. And then this column will handle itself. 3 minus 2 is 1. So we get 19. But that's really all borrowing is you've renamed the number from 48, the conventional way of doing it, to remove it down to 3018 so that this guy is larger, so you can subtract. So it's 19 degrees Celsius. Let's not forget to put that over there. Good. Let's double check our answer. Got it. And here we are in number 18. Good. Let's get a little bit more room over here. Great. So the altitude is at 300 meters. And then we're falling, which is a subtraction. That fall means subtract 300 minus 2,250. Well, we have to subtract with this negative number on top because it's stronger. So we're actually going to take 2250, which is being subtracted, 300, which is a positive number on the bottom. So we get 0 minus 0 is 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 3, we can't do that, so let's do a little borrowing thing. 1, 12. 12 minus 3, now we can do that one. 12 minus 3 is 9, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Negative guy wins, so we are negative 1,950, and we are in meters, so negative 1950. So that guy's below sea level, 1,950 meters. Let's double check our answer, and negative 1,950 meters is correct. Great.